I was already deep into writing the script for a video about the most interesting transfers of this off-season when something major suddenly distracted me. Though technically this new topic still has a lot to do with player moves, so what's this all about? On October 7th and 8th we got the so-called Dream Matches. That's how the organizers themselves called them. A cross-continental showdown between two volleyball powerhouses, Suntory Sunbirds and Perugia. And of course the headline was Ran Takahashi versus Yuki Ishikawa. Funny thing, if Yuki actually left the club this off-season, who would Perugia use as their face for the Asian market? This year, both matches took place in Tokyo, and next year the event is expected to move to Italy, which totally makes sense. This preseason mini-tournament drew massive attention worldwide. Each match in Tokyo pulled in over 14,000 fans to the stands, and the online viewership numbers? Hard to even imagine. One huge issue though was watching these games outside of Japan. Local organizers aren't exactly generous when it comes to sharing their broadcasts. Most content stays strictly domestic. It took quite a bit of effort to actually find a way to watch them. Every match had its own story, but that's not today's topic. A cool bonus for viewers was that you could follow Ran and Yuki for the entire match, even when they weren't on court. Each had their own dedicated camera. But judging by the title of this video, you've probably guessed that's not what we're here to talk about. Despite their success last season, the Sunbirds made a few, let's say, crazy roster moves. Alexander Slivka was replaced by Egor Kliuka, Masaki Oya was swapped for Masahiro Sekita, and Tomohiro Ogawa joined to share libero duties with Soshi Fujinaka. On paper, it looks like a super team built to dominate every domestic competition, but in practice there might be some cracks showing. Sure, these were only preseason matches and it's way too early to panic. Obviously, neither team was going full throttle. Even the absence of video challenges shows this was more of a showcase than a real competition. Still, I really want to talk about where the Sunbirds are headed, because with Perugia, everything seems pretty clear. They've kept their core, strengthened the bench, and are clearly chasing every trophy this season. That's exactly what the Sunbirds plan to do too. But what could go wrong? Personally, I'm a bit worried that Egor Kliuka might not play regularly, just like Slivka last season, who spent more time recovering than on court. What's funny is that it was the Polish outside hitter who ended up joining Hogbank, not Kliuka, even though the Turkish club was really eager to get him. I think the presence of Dmitry Muserski played a big role here. Having a national teammate definitely makes adaptation easier. But let's assume Egor stays healthy and plays consistently. What else could go wrong? That's where Masahiro Sekita comes in. He's already an icon for Japanese fans. The setter everyone missed during the national team season. So what could possibly be the issue? Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to criticize or downplay his skill. I'm just sharing what I saw. Masahiro only played in the first match. Head coach Olivier Leca explained that the setter is still not 100% recovered from his injury, so it would be risky to throw him into such an intense matchup right away. But even in that single game, it was obvious that he's still far from being on the same page with his hitters. With Oya, the Sunbirds' offense looks smooth and well balanced. Everyone had a personalized connection. Sekita, though, is still at the beginning of that process. Even his place with Ran Takahashi felt a bit off, which is surprising considering how much time they've spent together on the national team. That's not a long-term concern, though. That chemistry will come. What worries me more is that Sekita has never really played with such tall outside hitters as Kliuka and Muserski. Sure, during his one season abroad in Poland's Plus Liga with Kuprum, he did work with taller spikers, but that stint was far from ideal, and maybe that's why he didn't stay there longer. When you've got a 209cm outside hitter with a serious vertical, it's a real challenge for a 175cm setter. So far, Egor and Masahiro haven't quite found that rhythm. It probably wasn't clicking in practice either. Egor didn't even get his first set until the second half of the opening set. But the issue isn't only on Sekita. Egor himself currently looks like his old self from 5 years ago, struggling with low sets and not being consistent in attack. He eventually fixed that part of his game back then, but injuries stopped his progress. Now it feels like he's regressed a bit, and that could be a serious concern for this duo. If they do find their connection though, it'll be an unstoppable combo, especially against the shorter middle blocks we usually see in Japan's league. Things look a bit simpler with Muserski. Of course, height and trajectory are key for him, way more than tempo, but after years in Japan, he's fully used to the pace of SV League volleyball. As I mentioned in my previous video about him, Muserski can hit from any situation. He doesn't rely on his jump, his height and elite reading of the game allow him to dominate almost anywhere. He proved that again against Perugia, even with a brand new setter. It took Oya quite a while to fully sync with the Russian giant. Let's see how long Sekita will need. Still, I'm confident that even at almost 37, Muserski remains one of the best opposites in the world. And man, I'd love to see him play international volleyball again. Too bad the Sunbirds didn't qualify for the Club World Championship. Another thing, their pipe attacks look pretty shaky right now. Last year it was one of their biggest weapons. Hopefully they'll get that back on track soon and bring back that dynamic creative offense we all loved watching. And a quick word about Tomohiro Ogawa. He really impressed me, especially considering how powerful Perugia's attack is. I think this move definitely strengthens the reigning Japanese champions. It's not like Fujinaka was a weak spot, but Ogawa just feels a bit sharper overall. Honestly, he might be the best libero in Japan right now. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Now I really want to hear yours. Do you think these big signings will actually pay off? What could go wrong for the Sunbirds? And where do you see them finishing this season? Drop your opinion in the comments. I can't wait to read what you think. As always, this was Nick. Love what you do and you're gonna crush it. See you soon. Bye.